Let's talk Sinners. Let's talk Sinners, y'all. Have y'all seen the movie Sinners? Have y'all seen it yet? Have y'all seen the movie Sinners? Let's talk Sinners. Point in the room. Let's talk Sinners. Need everybody to come in the room. Let's talk Sinners, okay? Need everybody to get into the room right now. Let's talk Sinners. Come on in. We're gonna talk about this movie. It's gonna talk about this movie, guys. My mic on? My mic might be dead. It's on. Let's talk Sinners. Everybody come on in. Let's talk Sinners. Have you guys seen the movie Sinners? Trying to drive and talk about sinners at the same. Let's talk Sinners. Let's talk Sinners. Who has seen the movie Sinners? Who has went and seen the movie Sinners? Everybody's talking about this movie. I guess because it was so stylishly done. I thought, you know what I think what drew this movie to so many people want to see this movie? It was so stylishly done. Very pretty looking movie, like pretty looking. Very stylishly done. Had a very unique look about it. Had a like the cinematography, and plus it was shot with film. That's what I think why it stood out. Ryan Coogler used 70 millimeter film. They don't. That's what make movies have a feel to it. You know, he shot the movie with film. He had a cinematographer who knew how to make film pop to give it a certain look. That's why Sinner stood out. People were like it was something. I was watching comedian Ari Spears on his podcast. He was talking about Sinners, and he was saying it's something about this movie had a feeling to it. It had a look to it. It had a certain swag about it. It had a certain artistic look of visual about it. He said, I can't fully put a pinpoint on it, but the movie had it. And then Spike Lee actually talked about it as well. Spike Lee talked about his opinion about Sinners. And he really encouraged people to go. Now, Spike Lee has no ties. Spike Lee has no ties to this film. Spike Lee has no ties to this film at all. But he's been on podcasts screaming at people to go see this movie. He said something about it. It just had a certain look about it and a certain style about it and a certain feel. And I'm telling y'all, it's because Ryan Coogler used film. A lot of movies now, the reason why movies are so bland, well, first of all, it's a whole bunch of elements that went into this movie to make it what it was. But the reason why movies nowadays, why people don't want to go to the theater is because one, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's a couple things. One, there's nothing new and different out there. If it's not a comic book movie or a reboot of some old shit that we already seen a million times, or a reboot, or a animated Disney kid movie, because they figured they'll start making more kid movies because kids will want to come to the movies and their parents got to bring them. So that's the extra ticket that has to be bought. So but movies are so expensive now. People got 2 or 3 kids. That's expensive. Even with a matinee, you get there and you know the kids gonna want popcorn and candy. You know, I mean, you can bring shit from home, but you know how it is. We go to the movie theater. As soon as you smell that freshly popped popcorn, you gonna want some popcorn. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Going to the movies is expensive. So you really have to have a reason to want people to want to go to the theaters. And then movies don't even last long no more in the theaters. Movies are in the theaters, what, a month, 2 months tops, you know, to the point where it's on stream. So people was like, why not I just wait 2 months until the shit be on stream and I can just watch it at home. There's no reason, there's no urgency to want to go see it in the theater. There's no, ooh, I gotta see this. Sinners is a, ooh, I gotta see this. You know what I'm saying? So much so people have went back 2 or 3 times to go see it. It's a ooh, I gotta see it movie. You know what I'm saying? And that's been missing for a while. And I think, like I say, I think one is because he came out with something different. It was something unique. You know, it was an original screenplay. Now, vampires aren't unique. Vampires are not unique. You know, um, I could even go as far as saying vampires in a period piece is it a unique thing. I mean, one of my favorite vampire movies is Abraham Lincoln versus Vampires. If y'all haven't seen that movie, that's a good movie. That was more of an action horror film than it is a horror film. Um, so the period piece, vampires in the old times has been done. They did it with interview with interview with the vampire. They've done it with that one. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it for you watching, man. It was that 50 Real Talk. Thank you for watching. They've done it with interviewing. So vampires in a period piece, you know, they've had vampires in the 1920s. I've seen shows like that. They've had shows. What's that show called? It's come on HBO about vampires in like the olden times. That's been done. But I think what it is with Sinners, you had a period piece. You had, you know, you had action. You had um, historical stuff like civil rights. You know, the Jim Crow South, the times, the cotton. You saw the cotton and you know the sharecropping from those times. It gave you a little bit of history. You know, the Chain Gang. Remember the scene with the Chain Gang? If you guys ever seen the Chain Gang, with him, the uncle was going. He saw his friends on the Chain Gang. You know, back in the day when they would give you, you know, if you stole a piece of gum and you were black in those times in the South, that was the way to put you back in slavery. The 18th Amendment. You know, you take a piece of gum. You know that right now that's like a misdemeanor to take a piece of gum. Back then, you black in the South in Mississippi stealing, and you would get 20 years. You know, hard labor. That's nothing but slavery. So it had a lot. It had a lot of historical stuff in it. Drama. It was a love story. It was just so many things. It was a musical. It was educational. It was so many things, bro. And then it was shot so beautifully. It was shot. It wasn't shot. It was shot classy and the wardrobe, which the lady who Ryan Coogler used for Black Panther, which she won an Oscar for doing the wardrobe. A sister, she did the wardrobe for Black Panther, which she won an Oscar. He used her again to do the wardrobe for Sinners. Sinners. So that was dope to see. She, you know, everybody was dressed like the style. She did the wardrobe for the vampires. Like she was dope, you know. And it just everything. It just had a swag about it. And like I said, it was shot on film. The reason why movies don't have the soul like it used to, like the '90s movies that we love, you know, a lot of movies like Heat, you know, The Negotiator. Which was also directed by a black man, F. Gary Gray. A lot of people don't know that. Negotiate, which is a classic film. That was shot by a brother. With you know, Samuel L. Jackson and that was shot by F. Gary Gray. Yeah, because film has a certain feel to it, where it makes a movie it makes a movie and it makes a movie memorable. It gives you a dream element. I felt like watching this film. It felt like it was a dream, you know, and that's how film is supposed to be. It's supposed to be, you know, saying received like you watching something out of this not of this world, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't know if y'all seen the movie. Let me know what y'all think. What y'all thought about it. Um, Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, Sinners is. I doubt that they want to have any reason to not give this movie a Oscar nod. You know, I would say if anything, because they don't have a hard category in the Oscars. They don't have a horror category. but I think they should have a best screenplay, best original screenplay. Ryan Coogler should get it, or if they do best director, Ryan Coogler should get it. But like I said, the year is still kind of young, so we still got a little bit more year to go. So we see what else that might come out. But for the most part, he has best director and best original screenplay. If it had to be now that we select somebody from what we got, so far as work, we still in 2025. We still in the infant stages of 2025. So, but I would say original screenplay most definitely, because nobody mixed the South, the overall South, with black people like that. A black story, twins. It was like the characters. It was just like blues music, a musical. And the part about it, it had like I think it had maybe 2 or 3 musical scenes in it, maybe 4. And it wasn't to the point where you got like, oh shit, here was a musical scene. They gave you just a little bit, but when you was like interested, but then they jumped out of it where you didn't get annoyed, like, oh shit, okay, but they shut up and get on with the movie. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of times musicals, they'll drag the musical scenes on, but he gave you a little bit where you were interested, and the way he shot the musical scenes where he made it interesting, I think was brilliant. But yeah, I think that Ryan Coogler did his thing with this film, man. I think he did his thing. He's becoming my favorite director. With Creed 1 and 2 were classics. He directed those, and I don't know if he did Creed 2 though. I think he was working on Black Panther 2. I think he was working on Black Panther 2 I think they might have used another director when they did Creed. I think he did. I don't know. I got an IMDb in that. But okay, Black Panther, the first one is a classic. Fruitville Station, classic. He's starting to be my favorite director of all time, of course, is John Singleton. I met John Singleton a couple times. Hung out with him a whole day when he was working on Fast and the Furious 2 in Miami. That's where I'm from. Before I came to LA, I don't know how, I wish, I need to go back. I know how to get things done, man. I wish I would have kept that spark. I kind of lost it as I got older. I was able to somehow get in contact with John Singleton's mom, which John Singleton's mom called me, and I talked to her on the phone and convinced her to let me meet John Singleton. This dude from out of nowhere. I don't know how I finagled that shit. I was 23, 22 when I did that shit. I was like, damn, how did I hustle that up, But I was able to meet him and hook up with him and stuff. As far as like on the set, he showed me the set. Tyrese was a freaking asshole, but I just was, it was good to meet him and stuff. And I was trying to say, dude, you a big inspiration, dog. Like Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice and all those movies, man. That shit like made me want to pursue that particular career because of you. He's like, oh really? He was like, word, oh cool. Like he didn't say word, but he's like, oh dang, that's dope. But John Singleton, rest his soul. I think you could tell Ryan Coogler was heavily influenced by John Singleton. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows how to put a little bit of black swag in a movie where you can tell it has a little bit of, from around the way to it. You know what I'm saying? It has a little bit from around the way to it, But yeah, if y'all haven't seen it, man, y'all should go check it out, man. I give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up, Now, I will say this. Visually, it was stunning. Visually, the direction was stunning because I look for that stuff. That was amazing. But as far as the story was good. I wouldn't say the story was amazing, but it was a good story. You know what I'm saying? Does it deserve Oscar buzz? Yes, it does. For Best Original Screenplay, it does deserve Oscar nomination, Oscar nominee. You know what I'm saying? The year's still young. It was a good story. The way it was directed was beautiful. But as far as like amazing, you know, I wouldn't say amazing, like, but it was a really good, I would say it was a really good film. Really good. So I think people should go see it. You know what I'm saying? I think a really good, amazing film is a movie I can watch over and over again. Sinners, I probably can watch maybe 2 times more, and then if I never see it again, I'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? There's certain movies that I can just watch over and over and over and over and over and over. Maybe because it's horror, maybe it's horror, but I can't watch horror movies all and over and over and over again. Because I feel like that shit gets into your psyche, eventually. But I can watch it maybe. No, I can watch it maybe. Like I am going to see it in the theaters again now. And I mean, some friends are going, and I can watch it again maybe on stream at the crib. To see if I maybe missed some things. But yeah, after that, I don't know. I don't know. If I see it maybe some years later, maybe if it's on TV or something pop up. But I don't know. I think a great movie is a movie like Goodfellas. I can watch Goodfellas, man. Good Casino. I can watch those movies over. I think it's the way it's directed. Even Wolf of Wall Street, shockingly, I can watch that movie over and over again. I guess the way it's shot. Martin Scorsese is another one. Him and John Singleton are my two favorite directors. John Singleton first, and Martin Scorsese second. The way he directs his films, the way he cuts and shoots his films, and I think another reason why I like Martin Scorsese and John Singleton, they both, and Quentin. Quentin's my third favorite director. These three directors all have, along with Ryan Coogler, and I think Ryan Coogler picked this up from all three of these guys because he's a fan of Ryan Coogler. He spoke of it. He's a fan of John Singleton. He's a fan of Martin Scorsese, and he's a fan of Quentin Tarantino. And all three of these old school classic directors, Martin Scorsese, John Singleton, and Quentin Tarantino, what they three have in common, they refuse to shoot digital. They always shoot in film. And Ryan Coogler picked up on that. That's why he shot Sinners on film. Film is old school shooting a movie. That's why it took so long for this film to get done. Because, digital, they ain't got to, film, you got to process the shit. It's a certain way you shoot film that you can't shoot like digital format, which are why it's so long to do this film. He shot on because you got to you have to shoot it, you have to process the film, you have to you have to cut it, you have to bring it down to digital level. It's a process when shooting because you're actually shooting on actual material versus digital is all like going to like a computer. It's all like right there, like on a hard drive, So it doesn't have the same feel. Digital doesn't have the same feel, the same coloring. I remember they were showing the vampire's eyes when Mary went out to go. If y'all haven't seen the movie, Mary's a character named Mary. When she goes out to confront the vampires, they lit it in a way with the film where you didn't see their eyes. She was trying to see their eyes, and then when she was able to finally see their eyes, the motherfuckers was red. Their eyes turned red. And that's when she's like, oh shit. She knew that these motherfuckers ain't right. And that's what Smoke was very intuitive in this movie. He was able to pick up on shit. He had an intuition. And that was a part of the movie that a lot of people didn't pick up on that I picked up on. Always trust your intuition. Always trust your intuition. That's what I picked up with Smoke character. He was like, I don't have a feeling. Matter of fact, at the beginning of the movie, he's like, man, I think we should wait. We shouldn't open up tonight. I think we should wait. I feel like I just got a feeling like we need to wait at least today or maybe a couple of days and get things organized before we fully open up this juke joint. But Stack, who had shelled out so much money, all that money they shelled out, that he wanted to recoup his money back fast. And that's another thing I learned from the film. Don't be so anxious to make money because that'll lead to your death. Everything about going for the money led to everybody's death in the movie. Mary, she couldn't, Smoke had that funny feeling, and that's the reason. No, the Smoke character survived because, well, he ended up, y'all ain't seen the movie, but Smoke. I don't know if y'all ever seen it, but Smoke kept going off his. That's why he didn't let the vampires in the first time. He said, "I don't know about them motherfuckers, man. Why y'all want to come in here with all those black people? It's late at night. We out here by ourselves having a good time. Here y'all come strolling up. Can I come in with you? No, motherfucker. Y'all, this could be a setup. Nah, dog. You know, Smoke was very imperative. He's very intuitive. You know, Stack was more. He had a lot more aggression, but which Smoke had aggression too, but Smoke was just an act. He didn't think things out. So that's why he wanted to open up the club so fast. He wanted to get his money back for his investment. He wanted his return back. I done put this money up. I done put money up for buying this place. I'm paying all these people. I need to make some of this money back now. So we need to open up this club now. But Smoke was like, nah, dude, we need to take our time, feel things out, so we can have a big grand opening. That way we can really get our money's worth back. We can get our money back fast. We got our money back. As a matter of fact, in the film, when they opened too soon, they was complaining about people not having enough money, and you know what I'm saying? And people were paying with like wooden slave money and shit, like plantation money. So they couldn't really, they wouldn't really recouping as fast as they thought they would. And that's what Smoke was trying to tell them, man, we need to do a proper grand opening. Let's not just, we just bought the place. He wanted everything done in 24 hours and everybody at the juke joint. You know what I'm saying? And Stack was like, nah, dude, we need to take our time, maybe wait maybe 1 or 2 days and feel things out. We just got back in town. We need to feel things out and take our time with opening up this juke joint. We shouldn't open it up so soon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I thought my thing was going off. Shit. My mic went dead. Went dead. The mic is dead. The mic went dead. The mic went dead. So yeah, the movie was, my mic went dead. Y'all can't hear a word I was saying. I don't know when it went dead, but yeah, so that's what the movie was good, man. But yeah, so yeah, Smoke was very pivotal in the movie. Learning off that, going off that. If you feel like something ain't off, something ain't right, go off it. Don't go off money. If you always driven by money, it always leads to your death. That's what happened to Mary, with Mary's character, because Smoke was like, something about those people, I don't feel right about them people. You know what I'm saying? And then, even though they showed them that goal to come in, like he was trying to entice them, the vampires, they know you need the money. We know y'all don't put money into this place. Y'all got, and we know these slaves, these sharecropping people that ain't got the kind of money y'all need to re-up money y'all invested in this place. So he knows showing them that goal, maybe this will get y'all to, we willing to spend this big money with y'all. We know y'all need it. Y'all to open up this damn juke joint and then invest all this money into it that y'all probably don't have. So y'all let us in. And Smoke was still like, nah, fuck that. I know we need that money, but you know what? Y'all seem too eager to come up in here. That don't seem right. It's 19, all these black people. Y'all got all them other places y'all could go. Where y'all people are. Why y'all want to come up in? It's a trap. Nah, fuck that. Y'all take y'all ass on. But Mary going for the money again. Instead of letting Smoke and Stack. Nah, let the motherfuckers go, Mary. We need the money, but we'll figure it out some other kind of way. We'll open up another night if it goes slow tonight. You know what I'm saying? Try to re-up. Mary's like, nah, y'all need that money. They got big money like that. Y'all need it. She kept pushing the issue, and then her ass went out there with the vampires to go talk to them, and then it was too late because she was on their territory. But that was very, Stack, he met his fate for chasing money, and Mary met her fate for chasing money. You know what I'm saying? Because if Stack would have listened to Smoke, they wouldn't have opened up that night. They would have waited a couple nights, because he said, maybe we should wait a day or two. He said, I have a funny feeling about this. That's what Smoke said. Maybe we should take our time with this. You know, and another thing, and the intuition he had was because the Klan was going to come back later on and kill everybody inside the Juk. It was a setup. The Klan was going to come back and kill it. So not only was the vampire, they weren't expecting the vampires, but what the intuition was the Klan did that setup. They was going to take their money for that saw house that it was going to turn into a Juk joint, let them party all night, make their money from the black people coming to have fun. Waste them, so they was and then they was going to come back and kill everybody in the Juk joint, and then take it and rob everybody and kill, you know what I'm saying? And now they got double the money, you know what I'm saying, from selling it, and then clean it up and then sell it all over again to some other black people and do the same thing. That was the Klansman's MO. And that's why Smoke had that intuition, like, man, something don't feel right. We need to wait. You know what I'm saying? Wait maybe a couple days to fill some things out and take our time with this one. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He's like, nah, man, we got to make this money back. We didn't gave that Klansman all our money. We got to make that shit back. So he was going for the money too fast. Instead of taking his time and just figure things out and do a big grand opening, Going after the money's too fast. Stop going after the money sometimes. You gotta ease back sometimes. That's how Otis Redding met his fate. He was always after the money. He said, man, maybe the weather was bad. He was like, nah, I can't miss no money. And look what happened. Anyway, man, good film, man. Let me know what y'all think about it, man. I want to know what y'all think. If y'all haven't seen it, go check it out. I thought that Michael B. Jordan playing two characters was kind of corny. I thought he's doing too much. I was like, oh, Michael B. Jordan doing too much. What the hell? It's gonna look so cheesy, probably. And he's probably gonna seem like the same person. I ain't gonna front. He actually he was actually two personalities. It was cool. It was dope how he was actually two personalities. Anyway, y'all. I'll let y'all later, and let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna come back with another stream later. Subscribe to the channel.